everybody, welcome back to Auto Scholar with Mr. B. I'm Mr. B, and today we have this Range Rover HSE Sport, and we're going to do some front brakes on it. Now this has the smaller brakes out of the two systems that can be on this car. If you have a supercharged vehicle, this is going to be a little bit different, or if you have the sport brakes on it, this is going to be a little bit different, but it should be just about the same. Again, there's two different rotor sizes on this one, so be careful to measure your rotors before you order parts and make sure you match up your pads before you put them on and all that. So give me a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're liking what you're seeing. So I've already got the wheel off here. I've got the car suspended in the air, and we are going to go ahead and change pads and rotors on this vehicle simply because it's time. It looks like the factory rotors are on this vehicle. We have over 100,000 miles, and there's not much meat on the rotor left, so the pads are down extremely low. I've already done the other side, so this is the pads that we're dealing with here. And so I'm going to go through this and show you guys exactly how to do this. So stay tuned on this episode of Auto Scholar with Mr. B. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is you have a Torx bolt right here that's holding the brake rotor on. It is a T50, I think. Yeah, T50. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop that loose. If it'll pop loose, you may need to take a screwdriver and put this in the vent. The screwdriver in the vent, it will hold the rotor still. You can put just about as much power as you need to. That one was on pretty tight. The other side was not on nearly as tight as that. Go ahead and get this off again. T50 Torx. And then we'll have to take our brake sensor off right here. So you'll take this, grasp it, wiggle it. You may have to take some pliers if it's stuck in there. Or a screwdriver. Pry this brake sensor out. This is only going to be on the driver's side. Passenger side won't have one. There we go. And we are going to go ahead and get the 13s off right here. I believe the 13s. They hold this off. Now remember, when we're taking calipers off, we have this inside bolt here that can spin independently from the outside. So you may need to get a set of vice grips or pliers or something to get in there to hold that still. You won't be able to put a wrench on there because it's too thin back there unless you have a real thin wrench. You won't be able to have a wrench to hold that. But a pair of vice grips around the end. It's not much torque on there. It's only torqued to like 26 foot-pounds on this car. So let me go ahead and get that. Okay, so we got to get these 13s off right here on the end. I get a pair of vice grips right here. Just put it around the barrel of that bolt. Click it on there. It doesn't have to be hard. Again, this is only 26 foot-pounds. I do the bottom one first so it doesn't tilt anything off. There is some Loctite on these, blue Loctite. Alright, so now you gently just pry this caliper away from the pads. The pads will stay put. I'm going to pull this caliper over here and kind of stick it in there so it's just not hanging by the hose. So yeah, it's about time for some new pads. Take these off right here. All right, now the hard part. We have some, I believe they're 21 millimeters right here that we need to break free, and they are torqued at like 200 foot-pounds. So what I do is I normally turn the wheel right here. You don't want to lock up your steering wheel when you're doing this. And these are the bolts right here. You're gonna need a pull handle and maybe a pipe. This is a 21 millimeter and it's a 12-point socket to fit this 12-point bolt. Get a little swing on this thing. It takes about all my weight to get this thing off. There we go. And once you get it a little bit loosened, they come off with your fingers. I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera. Let me give it one more swing. These are some big bolts. And these threads are very, very long, so it takes a while to run them out. I'm going to set this out of the way. I'm going to show you what to do with that here in a minute. But we have this will come off. If it doesn't, you can take you, like on the other side it was rusted shut here. You're going to take you a hammer and just strike. Be careful not to hit the studs, but strike around here on the rotor and it should come right off. Okay, now we have to compress the caliper. When we do this, we want to make sure, first of all, that all the other calipers are installed. If we compress this caliper out, it can actually push the piston of another caliper out if it's out. So how I do this is I back flush the caliper. You have your bleeder right here. And I loosen it. And as long as you don't press the brake pedal, it doesn't hurt anything. And I will put my tool in here, my compression tool, and as I'm pressing the caliper in, the fluid will come out, and this is going to flush the caliper. It's also going to make sure that I'm not pushing any nasty fluid back through the system to contaminate any ABS components or anything like that. And just like that, guys, it's that easy. After I get done, bleed out a little bit. Tighten it back up. And you're all set. Okay, with the caliper slide, what we're going to do is pull this out. You have these right here. We're going to clean this old grease off and put new silicone caliper slide grease on here and make sure that that's done. I'm gonna do that off camera. But all you do is just clean the grease off and put new grease on. And then we have our new hardware we're gonna put on for the caliper slides. And then we're gonna put the calipers back on. The rotor back on and put our cinch bolt in there, and then I'll turn the camera back on for us. We'll put that caliper bracket back on. Okay, we have our rotor back on. Important thing to remember is to clean these rotors really good. They have some packing grease on them from the factory, so we need to make sure that we get all that cleaned off. That way the brake pads and everything don't get contaminated. So go back with our bracket. We'll go ahead and screw these in, and then we're going to be torquing these things down in the next step. Okay, so these tore down at 202 foot-pounds. I have my 1/2-inch torque wrench here. And I hope y'all didn't skip leg day, back day, arm day, everything, because you're gonna need everything you can to get this baby torqued down. Earn your money on this one, guys. Okay, got that torqued in. Next, we're going to put the brake pads on. Need to lubricate right here where these sit. I've already got lubrication in the slides. If you didn't lubricate the slides here, then you'll need to do that. Slide these on. Starting to be aggravating. There we go. And then we'll put our caliper back on. Get our 13s again. They will torque at 26 foot-pounds, which is a lot less than the bracket bolts. So we'll torque those down. Make sure you put our sensor. Now, if you have a brake pad warning light on the dash, you're going to need to replace this sensor right here, but we didn't have that, so you should be good to go. Putting this back on. The inboard pad wasn't bad enough to cause that to come on. Now you remember, we'll go ahead and put our vice grip there to hold that bolt. Sorry if I'm getting in the way of the camera, guys. You're just going to snug it up. Remember, we have to run a torque wrench on this. So you want to just get it a little tight. You also, when you get done with this job, you want to make sure that your brake fluid is full. And pump the brakes before you drive the vehicle. Make sure you have good brake pressure. Go ahead and torque these. There we go. Now all we gotta do is put the wheels back on, make sure she's good to go.